through your county veteran service officer. Learn more at veterans.nebraska.gov/NVA. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Mario fue pintor más de 30 años. Cuando me dijo que se le estaban olvidando las cosas, fue difícil. Un día me dijeron que pintara el marco del lado por dentro y pinté el lado de afuera.
Yo le diría a la gente que le diga a su familia lo que está pasando con él.
Si algo se nota diferente, podría ser Alzheimer. Es momento de hablarlo. Visita alz.org/nuestras historias para saber más. Un mensaje de The Alzheimer's Association y The Ad Council.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
Tune in every Wednesday night from 6 to 7 p.m. as Lincoln Lighthouse's Executive Director Bill Mitchner educates listeners on the history of Lighthouse, their mission, and how you can get involved in shaping today's youth into tomorrow's adults. Every Wednesday night from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe. And it's the best way to protect that legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the 93.7 The Ticket studio. From the heart of Lincoln, America, this is What's Next 24. With the authors of Next 24, Michael Worrell and Sherry Tills.
All right, welcome in. Happy Sunday. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As always, if you guys want to join in, 402-464-5685. That is the Starter Heyman text line. You can put a face to the voice, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, Channel 961. If you got Allo Cable, we got the host as always, Mike and Sherry, and a couple of great guests in studio as well. With that being said, throw it over to the host, Mike and Sherry.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's Sunday, May 31st, and you're tuned into the show that brings you powerful stories of hope, fun, and adventure. And we're here to celebrate a journey. It's your journey toward happiness, true joy, and the legacy you create. I'm Mike, along with Sherry, and we are the authors of Next 24, a book to discover happiness and true joy in your life while you create a legacy. And today, I know we do a lot of shows about serious topics, but today's about fun and about people who want to explore new things in life and maybe have an idea. So we have an exciting day regarding Harley-Davidson, Frontier Harley-Davidson. Sherry, what do you think?
Absolutely. This is a fun day. First of all, really quick, Harrison, I owe you an apology. We watched our show from last week, and at the end, and I told you to be quiet because I wasn't done and shut the music off. And I was very rude to you, and I'm sorry.
We saw the clip.
I got a little excited. Anyways, you guys, we are so excited to have two ladies here from Frontier Harley-Davidson, Ms. Casey and Ms. Lexi. And I think instead of going into a long introduction, we would like you guys just to individually introduce yourselves and tell us what you do, how you got to Lincoln, Nebraska, of all places, and tell us what you do at Frontier Harley.
So my name is Casey. I am originally from Nashville, Tennessee. I moved to Texas in my early 20s, spent about 10 years out there doing luxury hotels and high rises near Houston, and then got the opportunity to come back to the Nashville area and ended up in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Obviously, there are no luxury hotels or high rises. So being from a family that was always around motorcycles, it was a perfect combination of luxury motorcycles. So walked in with a resume and said, "Are you guys hiring?" And they said yes. A couple of years later, started traveling for Harley to different dealerships all over the country. Took a year break in Ohio, and they were like, "Hey, listen, we need help out here. Do you want to come out?" So fast track 2 months after that, here I am as your events and marketing person.
There
So,
you
yeah.
go. There you go. Lexi,
Hi.
give us your shot, girl.
So I am originally from St. Libory, Nebraska,
Woohoo!
right outside of GI. I think I moved here about, I think when I was 23 years old. I originally started at the Cornhusker Marriott here in downtown Lincoln.
Oh my.
Worked there for about 5 years, ended up being a lead bartender. Moved on to Nelna and then Rosie's, and shout out to Jace Jackson. Jace Jackson is, he used to be one of my managers out at Harley, and he was like, "I need you to come out and sell Harleys with me." And I was like, "Jace, I don't know a thing about Harleys." He's like, "Yeah, but you know the culture. You grew up around them. Your dad loves them." So no, started selling bikes with him, and then I ended up doing some purchasing for inventory. I've done internet sales, and now I'm the manager of the motor clothes department.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's a great department. When we were out there the other day, we went shopping.
Absolutely.
It was fun. If you notice,
Yes,
Sherry's
we
got
did.
this great
I
jacket
got
on.
this cute jacket,
You got
and
the
let me
hat
tell
on.
you what, their staff out there is amazing. It doesn't matter if you're walking in there to buy a bike. It doesn't matter if you're walking in there for repairs, for parts, or apparel. I mean, their staff is just amazing. I'll be honest with you, I was having a bad day that day, and kind of in my own little pity party, and didn't want to try and close. And you know, between you and tell me her name again.
Jen.
Yes. I mean, just amazing. And you guys, I'm telling you, if you go out there and you just want to buy something fun, they
Best
will
candy
help
store
you.
in town.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely. And I'm telling you what,
Cannot
right
have
now
a bad
they've
day in
got
a
some
Harley store.
smoking clearance deals too.
Yeah, anytime Sherry gets to spend a little money, that makes her happy.
Yes, it does.
Let's give a little history. Harley-Davidson. Harley-Davidson is an American icon. In 1903, it started out in a small shed out in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It became the birthplace of Harley-Davidson. It started with William S. Harley and Arthur Davidson, who built their first motorcycles soon, and the Davidson brothers joined in together when they created a brand called the Motorcycles. Through the years, Harley-Davidson grew up more than just being a motorcycle company. It became a symbol of freedom and rebellion. The brand powered through tough times like the Great Depression and even played a role in World War I and World War II, supplying motorcycles to the U.S. military. It also, if you don't know, it has a famous V-twin engine to the classic chopper-style bikes. It has an iconic sound. Harley-Davidson remains a legend, and today's blend of modern technology with old-school style, providing the roar of Harley, will never go out of fashion. So what's the deal? Icon bikes. You think about the Street Glide, the Road King, the Heritage, the Softail. What makes it so special out at Harley-Davidson?
So Icon is like a key piece for Harley. We have several different motorcycles, and we carry models that are classic through. Everybody has them, but Icon is just that extra step where they were able to put that love and time and give it its own like dedicated brand to it. So like there's a lot of time and consideration that the dealership well, the motor company puts into creating those to make them stand out. So it's
they
a
certainly
really,
do.
really cool.
I always think I have one myself, and I just love it every time I turn it on in the morning and have that iconic sound, and you head out of the driveway.
Yes, and our neighbors love that iconic sound.
Hey, you know
the
what?
Especially when it's in the garage.
Hey, who needs an alarm when you can have them?
The fascinating thing when you think about the Harley-Davidson from a national standpoint, we have Frontier Harley. To give a little background on Frontier Harley, it's been serving Lincoln, Nebraska motorcycle enthusiasts since May 8th of 1987. It was originally located in North Lincoln. The dealership has undergone multiple expansions, renovations to enhance its offerings. Today, it provides a full range of Harley-Davidson motorcycle parts, accessories, motor clothing, merchandise, factory authorized service. The dealership really prides itself on superior customer service. Let's walk through. We want to talk about today about the individual who, gosh, like me, I didn't start doing this till I was 50 years old. I walked in with a friend of mine. He wanted to go pick up his motorcycle for repair. I went with him. I thought, oh, if I don't do this now, I never will.
Yep.
But it's scary.
No, and that's the thing is like, motorcycles are not a need, right? It's a want. So purchases like that, it's an emotional purchase. So you go in and it's that passion, it's that moment where you have it. And that's what's so great about it. The average time frame from the time somebody thinks about wanting a Harley Davidson to actually purchasing one is about 20 years. Not a motorcycle, but a Harley Davidson, right? And that's what's cool.
Harrison, I got to ask you, you've been on a motorcycle yet?
No, like I've been on like dirt bikes for the most part out in the country. I haven't been on like anything like a Harley though on the street.
You got the itch to do it.
We're going to bring ours down and video that.
Oh, it's really a lot of fun. Let's walk through for the person that walks through. How they're going to be treated. What's the first step? What happens?
Man, if you don't have somebody at that front door either opening it for you or greeting you when you come in, like then we're not open.
No, we don't like that
at all. No. So first thing you come in is like, if you haven't seen the dealership, first and foremost, you do not have to own a motorcycle to come to our dealership.
It's cool.
You can just be a fan, or just absolutely curious. We if you've got the will to show up, we'll welcome you in with open arms. That's what's awesome about the industry and the culture of it is everybody just come hang out with us. Like it's fun.
Oh, it is.
That's that environment we want to give when people walk in. It's like we're happy to be there. We choose to be there, and like we have one of the coolest jobs in the world, and that is like putting people on motorcycles or even just talking about them. So.
Right, and I think with there's been so many things out like in movies and TV shows and stuff. I mean, Sons of Anarchy. We were talking the other day. We were talking about Wild Hogs. I'm sorry, Harrison.
Even the Pan America and the new Marvel movie. So, yeah.
I mean, we've watched Sons too. We've watched the whole thing twice now in about 2 years. But it's like I think that has kind of driven people even more so. Well, you know what? I think maybe I can do this. I'm not going to go out and be a rebel or anything, but I think maybe I need to look into this. Have you had a lot of people say, God, this is just really this is cool. Maybe I could try this.
Yeah.
I think it especially helps like that we offer the writing course and we're very open, to any questions, especially to anybody that's, just starting to ride. It is a little nerve wracking because if you've never been on a bike, what's this lever do? What's this do over here?
Yeah.
But I mean, we want to be open and supportive and, we want all the riders because unfortunately it's not a super common thing anymore. So it's like, it's good to be excited about it. Why wouldn't we? I mean, it's a very freeing thing to do. And a lot of sentimental value comes into riding, especially if you have a group of friends that you ride with.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And I must say, I want to try to give a visual to the audience who's listening. The building out there is really special. The building is really iconic. It's how it was built and so forth. Because you've got you come in, you walk in, you see the wonderful row of all the new bikes on the floor. In my day, and I think it's still the same now, you go up to the top floor, you'll see many of the wonderful. If you're looking for a used bike, maybe you can't afford the new ones or you want to look at the used bike, I encourage people to do that too. I mean, go up and take a look. If you're looking for some
those are new to you. So.
Well, yes. And what I mean by that, sometimes people are looking for maybe the price or that the older sometimes you'll run into that diamond in the rough. You know what I'm talking about? It's that older
Mhm.
bike that people like.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And stuff like that. That's got, maybe it's already got when you go in, maybe they want the special grips, maybe you want the special pipes.
I'm a
put on, or
Springer girl
lights.
through and through. So, oh yeah.
Well, let's bring that up. For ladies, you do like to ride bikes, don't you?
Absolutely.
Tell us your experience.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, so I started on dirt bikes out on the farm. I remember the first time I got on a dirt bike, I actually rode it into a hay bale. And my dad's across the field saying, rub some dirt on it, get back up. So that was my first experience. It was a lot of fun, hanging out with my brothers and sisters and everything, kind of doing that as a family thing. I do have a 93 883 Sportster, teal, white walls, Springer seat. Just getting a Springer front end.
Color?
Yep.
Oh,
What color?
Teal.
Oh,
Right.
Mhm.
Listen to the girls
You're all
talking.
good.
Break this all down.
We get too excited.
It's amazing because that's the best part is like everybody's like, oh well, I don't want just a basic bike. And that's the coolest thing about Harley is it is one of the most customizable motorcycles. So you can literally make it your own.
Yeah.
Like one of my old salespeople at another dealership, 5'3", and he was the epitome of had a road glide special and had it lowered, and that man could literally throw a leg on and touch down.
Oh, you're
both sides.
kidding.
Yeah, that's why I said
yeah.
you can make
there's many things
any
that
bike
you
do
can
that.
do.
Wow.
Let's take it through maybe the first time who's never been on a bike. What do you recommend? Sometimes I think people try to buy too big of a bike first time. Or what's your thoughts? How do you walk them through this?
So that's the biggest thing about fit specialists. Like we're not car salespeople, right? People think that when they come in, our sales guys, like when we want to talk to you, we call them fit specialists, right? When they come in, the whole point is we're excited just to talk about motorcycles. We're excited to, go do test rides, things like that. So when we get people that are new in, it's like, hey, how many people, what's your history? What do you know about them? Do you have people that ride? Things like that. Like we get to know you, we get to know your lifestyle, things like that. So that way, we fit the bike, physically, aesthetically, and financially to you. So that way, like it's for you. And then we build it, right? So like we find that you love a certain style, we get you there. And then now let's customize it. Let's make it you. How can we do that, right? Because every bike is different for every single person. And when you're new to it, you're also trying to figure that out. And we have a jump start. So that's something that we push with the Riding Academy is like, we introduce you to a salesperson. We say, hey, come in. And what a jump start is basically it locks the front wheel and it has a roller on the back. So you get used to shifting because that's usually the scariest thing for most people. They're used to using their feet and not their hands for everything, right? So we get you in there, get you out of your head on that part. So that way when you are out on the Riding Academy pad, like you're over that part. The clutch control now. Like you can't stall the bike on that thing. So it's cool.
Now, do both of you train?
So I don't at this dealership, but I have a huge passion for it. I did it at another one. So like that is a huge thing that we carry over into every department is that we should know how to talk about these things. So.
Let's stop there for a minute. I got a question because you brought it up several times. The individual comes in, they buy the bike. Once they buy the bike, financing is available too, correct? Let's kind of touch through this.
Yeah.
So financing's all available?
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you got good credit, bad credit, no credit. We've got several options for that. That's one of the biggest things that push people away. Is like, oh man, I can't afford that. Great news. That's what the bank's for, and we've got enough of them that we can figure it out.
Well, and even the fact that, and I know we've been besides Frontier, we've been in a couple other dealerships, and it's fun. We look at the brand new ones, but then we walk up and look at the top floors, which is where the used ones are. And it's like, okay, this is cool. This is cooler than the bike we have. You know what I'm saying? Where you can even upgrade used and not getting away from buying new by any means.
No, and that's the thing is like, it can be new to you. One of the biggest things Harley always says is like, you don't have to start on a Harley. At first they always encourage start on a metric or something like that so you can figure out your riding style. But we have it.
Yeah, the reason I want to bring this up too is that don't just buy the bike and expect that you're going to take it out if you've never ridden before.
That's why we do test rides too. Yeah, like try them out.
I mean, Lexi, did you move up in bikes, or is this your original bike that you've had?
I was going to say, this is the original bike I've had. It's currently at my parents' place. My dad is working on that Springer front end, and I'll just be real honest. I don't know if I'm ever going to get it back because he loves it.
See, Springer front end. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, you know what? You might have to tell him that you could finance for him.
I told him, I was like, Dad, I promise I will never upgrade and trade this bike. He's like, you better not. I'm like, okay, all right. So
it's
no.
like a grandchild now.
Mhm. Yeah,
Share about the academy. What is someone to expect? What's the teaching process? Can you share a little bit about what they go through?
So honestly, Tara would know way more about this. She's great at it. But honestly, you're gonna start that class literally like you've never even seen a bike.
You literally paddle. They make you sit on it and walk with the bike.
Yes.
Yep.
Because they're
Yes.
teaching you clutch control. It's
Everything.
friction zone on the clutch control.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Yep.
I happen to get mine at Southeast Community College. Shout out to them. They have a wonderful riding course too if you're trying to learn. And you're exactly right.
Yeah.
The clutch control, the braking, and it's not a big bike that they teach. That they train you
That's
on.
the cool thing. You learn how to ride a Harley
But
on
you,
a Harley.
yes,
So.
and to do the S turn.
Yes.
S turn.
Yeah, that is the epitome of. So I've been through the riding academy, so that way I could talk about it with people that are terrified, right? Especially when they see women pulling up on bikes, they're like, "Oh man, I want to be like you."
I watched you roll up on a road glide the other day, and I was like, Casey, you're killing it.
So one of the biggest things we always say in that is like two things are so important in that class. First things first, you got to remember why you're here, and that is to have fun, right? And then the other thing is having faith in your head turn. So where you look is where you're going to go. So in those S turns, you're like looking over your shoulder and you're just like, you're praying to God. You're like, just have faith in the head turn. Yeah. And then you do.
Right.
So,
And it's, and I think that, Mike was talking yesterday and, how when you take these courses and stuff, to get it, and I don't understand the whole process. I mean, you and I talked, I've been a horse girl, but I love riding.
Oh,
on
you
a
and my
Harley.
mom would have got along.
Oh, yeah, all day long. But I mean, I love riding on Harley. It's just
Precious
almost
cargo.
like being on a horse, But anyways, he had talked about having that on your driver's license.
Ooh.
As far as the safety course and stuff. Especially now because we're hearing so much. I mean, good grief, at least a couple times a week we're seeing people in accidents. I mean, of course. The thing that I keep pushing, at least on social media, is people that are driving cars. Look out for these bikers. I have so many friends and family that ride, and it's like, be aware, be aware, be aware. There you go.
Yeah, it literally stays behind my license.
Be aware, be aware. And, but sometimes, the bikers make mistakes too.
Yeah. And, that's the one thing I especially say, when you're getting on two wheels, obviously you are going to be a little more vulnerable, but taking the class and, getting the knowledge you need, not being afraid to ask questions, that's what we're there for.
Right.
But unfortunately, it's just one of those things.
I
People
know.
and texting kind of got to be on the defense, even if you're not on a bike anymore.
And
So
that's what I love about the riding academy is it teaches you, I kind of like to call it like aggressive defense, right? So you are learning everything in first gear, which is like slow roll,
that's
right?
I forgot that.
So everything
Yes,
you're
it is.
doing is maneuvering in this position where you're not, anybody can go 40 miles an hour in third gear, right?
Yeah.
But not everybody can maneuver over a 2x4 or a pothole or the weave through cones, right? That's what we teach you as slow as humanly possible so that you can really understand what your bike is going to do in those moments. So they really push your reactive time. Like one of those things is like they will literally, you're driving at 20 miles an hour at an instructor, and at a certain point, once you cross the line, they're going to point one direction or the other, and you have to respond, and you have to stop next to them, and it's so cool because that's what they teach you.
It's a neat experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
One thing I want to pivot to quick to the Harley-Davidson. It's just not the bike itself, but it's the motor. The V twin motor. I remember it was 88 cubic, then it was the 103, then it was the 114. The Milwaukee 8. Milwaukee 8.
Yeah.
And now I believe there's a new motor out, 117. If I'm not mistaken, it's been redone the last couple of years. But and my point is faster, bigger, little bit, and cooler.
Yes.
Not the old where, oh my gosh, this engine gets a little hot.
No, so what's really cool about the Milwaukee 8 engine is how it came about, right? So we did the V-twin for like 20 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's gone through its progressions and things like that. And one of the, the dealer, not the dealership, I always want to say that because that's home to me, right? The motor company really does try to listen to what customers complain about, what they like, what they don't like, what they want to see improvements on. So they went back to the drawing board, and Willie G himself sat down, flipped over a blank sheet of paper, said, we're going to start from scratch. Let's bring old school to new school. So that's where the name of it came from, which is really neat. So we went back to the single cam, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where that bottom part is. Like it's a little bit different down there. But then we bolstered up the engine and did 2 intake, 2 exhaust valves. Sorry, I cannot speak today. And that's where you get that 8. So it's 4 cylinders.
Yeah, but you know what the best thing about that before we go on break is the Harley-Davidson sound.
Yeah.
They've kept it.
Oh yeah, the grumbles there.
The grumble sound.
Yes.
On that, we need to take a quick break, and we'll be right back in just a moment.
All right. Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Electrical Enterprises in Roca reminds you, the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. Let us honor those who have lost their lives in the line of duty and salute those who serve today. This from Electrical Enterprises in Roca. For all of your residential and commercial electrical construction needs, call 402-438-5822. We live in the land of the free thanks to the brave.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with ready-mixed concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's nebcoinc.com.
If you're a veteran, our nation has created a wide range of benefits to thank you for your service. But it can be difficult to navigate the process of determining eligibility, filing claims, appealing decisions, and securing the benefits you've earned. Speak to your County Veteran Service Officer or the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs State Service Office to see what's available to you and your family. These services are 100% free. So visit veterans.nebraska.gov today. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Back to What's Next 24 from the 93.7 The Ticket studio with the authors of Next 24, Michael Worrell and Sherry Tills.
All right, welcome back in. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. This is What's Next 24. We got a couple of great guests from Harley-Davidson Frontier. Mike and Cherry, the host, as always. And if you guys want to join in, you got any questions, 402-464-5685. With that being said, throw it over to the host, Mike and Cherry.
Welcome back, everyone. We're having a lot of fun today. We're talking about having fun in life, not just always work and no play. We're back here with Lexi. Casey Frontier Harley-Davidson, which is located at 205 Northwest 40th Street in Lincoln, Nebraska. Sherry, I'll turn it over to you. I know you got some good questions you want to ask.
First of all, I just want to say really quick, I think we're going to have to talk to DP about doing a remote at Frontier when Harrison goes out there and learns how to ride a Harley.
There would be some good content there.
So I'm telling you.
Riding school.
Anyways, and speaking of the riding school, really quick, we talked on the break. We talked about how when you buy a bike out there, you automatically get that training class. You automatically get. That's part of the package deal.
Absolutely.
Where you get trained, you learn how to ride it. And I love that. I love that concept.
Yeah, if you've never ridden a bike or you're a new rider and you buy a motorcycle, you get the Riding Academy. That is one thing we stand on is we're going to make sure you know.
Yeah, safety first. But taking care of a Harley is key to keeping it running strong. And I know that, even living in Nebraska, we always make sure in our bike, we always make sure one of us reminds the other, we got to get the stuff. I call it the stuff. To winterize it.
Yeah, winterize it.
You still got to winterize it and to
Oil
keep it going. But what services?
That's what heated gear is for.
What services does Frontier offer? And, what's the customer's experience going into maintenance? We've worked with your maintenance guys before, and they are
Can we give a quick shout out to Logan, please?
Oh,
Logan
my
is an
goodness.
absolute rock star.
And it was his birthday yesterday.
Oh,
so.
great. Logan, if you're listening, you're an awesome man. You've been so helpful over the years. Always helping me get that oil change, or I get that maintenance. I do want to say when we talk about service, there was a time when, sometimes you'll have great sales on discontinued product, which is fine. It was great. A table laid out. I had a stair. My point, there were grips, there were new pipes, there were new lights, LED lights underneath the tank that I put on. So I was able, it was like every guy or gal wants to make it customized like their own. Logan, thank you. He's the one that helped me put it all together.
There you
go. There you go.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
just the servicing that you need to do every year, just like it's just like taking care of your car.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. And one of the biggest things about a motorcycle is you want to make sure you're changing your fluids at least once a year, if not a few other times than that. But you just don't want to leave it sitting. It is just like a car. They need maintenance just like that. So,
and that's the cool thing. Like she brought up during the break is one of the things about buying a bike is every dealership's different, right?
Mhm.
Every state is different. But one of the biggest things, and I'm new to this dealership, so she's been here for a hot minute, and I thought that was one of the coolest things that she brought up is like every motorcycle that we buy, trade in, doesn't matter, goes through service.
Oh, wow.
We definitely make sure that we have all those service records up to date, especially when the customer asks, because we don't roll a bike onto service or onto the showroom floor.
Absolutely
Excuse
not.
me.
No, yeah.
Just until at least we've done the HD safety check, oil change, brake and clutch flush. Definitely making sure the tires are safe for you. We don't want to sell you a rolling jalopy just to make some money. That's not cool.
No.
Exactly.
So that's one of the number one things that definitely has stood out to me with our dealership is you're getting a quality bike. And, if something were to happen after you purchase, we're definitely going to do what we can to make it right. And that's something that's big for me. So.
Oh, it's huge. Sherry, before you get the next question, I want to jump into one thing. You can buy the bike, you get it through service, but boy, you got to look right too, don't you? You got to have that merchandise.
Right.
You got to let's share the helmets, the jackets, the shirts, the boots.
We were just talking about boots that don't even look like boots anymore.
Yeah. Would you talk about the merchandise and the importance of those boots?
So honestly, you're always going to want to wear a good pair of shoes while you're riding. You want to be comfortable, something that makes you feel sturdy. We do have, a great selection of boots right now. We're working on getting different brands in there again. I just took over, I want to say 3 weeks ago, maybe, Casey.
She has been killing it though. It is amazing the change and transformation that has happened, and it's just going to get better every day.
I'm definitely excited to see, the new product. I know yesterday we're going through some different brands, looking up the new merch to order. But no, Sherry, I will definitely keep you posted on these new shoes. Ooh,
these
girl.
shoes.
Cover your ears.
Oh man,
Because
I got to work extra overtime.
When you get in some cute female helmets with some little stuff on them.
Oh, girlfriend, we have a Dusty Rose helmet with a
special order.
I didn't go back by the helmets the other day.
That's okay. You don't
Hey,
gotta.
listen,
I can
no.
send you pictures. I got you, girl.
Girl, I know you got my back.
Another thing I do want to bring up, since we're on the clothing subject, anybody who's listening that loves Dixon, I promise I'm doing what I can to get that brand back into the dealership. That is the number one thing that
Very cool.
So keep in mind, guys.
And you guys, the other fun thing that Mike and I really enjoy is some of the events. I mean, we are so pressed for time, and on an evening after work, on a certain night, we know we can go, run to a dealership, hopefully Frontier.
Oh, yeah.
And, where they have like what's called bike nights, and they are so fun and they are so family friendly. I mean, there's food, sometimes there's bands, sometimes there's vendors. Tell us about some of these things that Frontier does. Tell us about some upcoming events. The one you just had one yesterday that was huge.
Yeah. So yesterday was our summer dealer showcase, and then we had the kickstands up for kids from our hog chapter. That is something that we are really trying to breathe life back into, are the events at the dealership, right? And not to wear a heavy crown on that one, but that's on me. And one of the cool things about what we're trying to do is for bike nights is, when you're new to a town or even a state that you've never really been to, is getting to know the people. And that's what my goal has been the last month is, getting to know what the town likes, what we've done before, what people liked, what they want, what they didn't like.
Right.
So we've been building our bike night. So we have a bike night every third Thursday of the month through September from 6 to 9 p.m. And we're building it. And now we've got bands every time. We're going to have, cool things. We're going to, we do burnout competitions and fun stuff like that.
Oh, it is
and
great fun.
But we're going to bring in like biker games and stuff like that, just to bring fun and invite people out to just like, it doesn't matter what walk of life you are, you're going to find something enjoyable to do there. And that's what's cool.
Can you mention your website real quick so people can go to the event?
Yeah, frontierhd.com. Our website is in progress of changing the platform. So the best place right now for our events is either on our Instagram, which is Frontier Harley-Davidson, or if you go to Facebook, we post all of our events a month in advance. So we do a rolling month. So next weekend we have our barbecue burnout slow roll edition,
Oh, that sounds
right?
like
Because I
fun.
was like, oh yeah, let's do this. But then we were like, let's do a slow roll. Like, so we're gonna have a slow roll competition. We've got pre-registration, things like that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We got a band coming out. We've got barbecue. We're gonna have a bunch of vendors. That was my biggest thing, was just getting a bunch of different people out, right? That have never been there.
And let people know where this is held. This is in the parking lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and the parking lot is ginormous.
Yep.
Listen,
their building is ginormous.
If you've ever parked at a football stadium, that is almost like I feel like that's almost like the equivalent to how our dealership is. So we have a massive parking lot. Like we have a stage in the parking lot for bands and things like that. Like it has its own stage that tells you.
It's a major event. I want to make sure I touch on this, Cher, because people do, from my own experience, love camaraderie.
Yes.
And it's called the poker runs.
Yes.
Talk about the poker runs.
Yeah. So we host poker runs either as registration or as a stop for several riding groups. A lot of these are charities or benefits to help raise money or awareness for things that are going on in the community. So that is one of the biggest things that we want to push back is like, part of Harley is being in that community, right? And having that community be part of us. So like marrying those two together is such a big thing for me. Like that's my biggest passion. And that's why, I'm with Harley. I love that camaraderie and that fellowship, right? So our hog chapter on that is like, I've been at several dealerships and this is one of the biggest, but it's one of the best hog chapters I've ever been a part of.
Can you share?
Tell us what a hog chapter is.
Yeah, say what it stands for, please. And, and what to expect when they come to a chapter dinner.
Yeah. So HOG stands for Harley Owners Group. So to be part of a HOG chapter, you have to own a Harley-Davidson or be a passenger, and that's part of that. And that is where they choose which dealership. Like these are passionate riders. They're not part of a club. They're not part of a riding group. These are just our day in and day out
everyday
community.
people.
Yeah. And they pick which dealership they want to be a part of, right? So they can come out when we do our hog roundups. That's where we want people, if you're interested or you don't know, or maybe you don't have friends, or maybe you do and you just want maybe to try something different and you want an excuse to go riding. Our hog chapter has like crazy events. They find an excuse to go ride. And then they find really cool excuses to go ride by supporting, charities and efforts like that. So at the roundup, we go over everything that's coming up, things like that. They welcome new members. They go over important things, like they'll do a safety brief, stuff like that. That's really, really neat. And it's fantastic. And you do get food, which is awesome. We actually, this is one of the, what I love about ours is we actually have a unique dealership chapter because they have an actual like cook crew and they are called the Iron Slob. And like they have their own pit. It's cool. They have their own aprons.
Are you kidding me?
No, it is awesome. And they make like some of the most unique, like we're doing burger wars in June and they're going to different stops every week, every Wednesday, just to go like try out burgers. This is to go ride and eat burgers in the evening. So
and go home and be in a food coma.
Yes, absolutely. After you rode your motorcycle with some cool people.
Yeah.
So we have a phenomenal director, Gary, who helps organize, and he has done a fantastic job because, like I said, I'm new to this dealership, right? And he was like day one, came, shook my hand, introduced me to the staff, like, and now like we're so integrated to where like we talk regularly. Me and the Hog chapter do, and it's so amazing to just see that development because they volunteer at our events and they come help us out. So it's like, even if you don't know about Hog and you want to, they're going to be at every event we have because they help and they love our community and they love this dealership and they want to bring more.
I love the fact that, and you just said it, it's everyday people.
Yeah.
It's not like people get the misnomer that it's, Hell's Angels.
Yeah, no.
Or,
yeah. And
tough-
It's
tough
a little
life
bit of
people.
everything. It
but
takes all kinds of kinds. I mean,
Yes.
yeah,
And it's in families.
yeah,
mhm.
and this is an agriculture area, right? Like this,
Absolutely.
you can be a white collar job, but it's a blue collar industry style, right? So these
Right.
are the same ones that get in the trenches with you. Like they show up in their dirty jeans. It doesn't matter.
Well, to just say, in Nebraska and Lincoln, there's a lot of highway,
Yeah.
a lot of fun,
That-
a lot of cornfield to see, a lot of small towns to go visit.
And cool things
Whether
to
you go
see.
south or north,
Yes.
you can visit a lot of little small towns that you've never been before. That's half the fun,
Yes.
half the battle, half the gridline.
I mean, and even just, when you work all week, you bust your rear end all week, and then you're consumed on the weekends with kids' activities and that kind of stuff. It's nice to take a couple hours.
Oh yeah.
Just to go out, even to renew yourself with the scenery that's in the
Well,
area.
let me
that you
just
live.
say, when I talk to other gentlemen who like to ride, we say, why do we like to ride? Because we feel free.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't
And
have to think.
It's a time to relax.
Oh yeah.
We talk the word have a little road time.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Turn on the radio and go.
Throttle therapy.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wind therapy.
All right. Talk about women's groups. There are some riding groups that are women only. That I've seen.
There are. It's steel stilettos or stilettos on steel. Is one.
Yes.
Yes.
And they're pretty
Don't we
passionate
have
about
the Chrome Angels?
Yeah.
the Chrome Angels.
I'm still learning some of the groups around here because all over all over the country there's so many different ones like East Tennessee.
Well, by the way, talk about that. Which is not just local, national, and they're fairly. They plan trips with each other.
Yeah.
It's nationwide.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a family.
We have there's the hog rally that's coming up in June as well. Forgive me on the name of the town that it's going to, but it's I think it's the June 5th through the 7th.
And
I'm not
people,
sure.
by the way, I didn't think about it, but people still plan their trips to go to Sturgis.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's what's cool. So Sturgis is happening right around the time that we've got some other really cool things happening at the dealership that I'm excited to talk about next time. But a lot of times if you can't go to Sturgis, right, a lot of dealerships will either do like a 2 broke for Sturgis or they'll do like a rest and recovery, like coming back through things like that. So Sturgis is a massive one. And on that, there's a couple of events and efforts that Harley, the motor company, is pushing right now. There's the Rolling USA. You probably saw signs about it, things like that. But it's these really cool efforts. So right now, we have the Rolling Milwaukee to Sturgis effort, right? And you can register at any dealership, and you come in, and any dealership you go to, there's voucher numbers. You can get keywords for this, and they partnered with Jesse James Dupree to give these really cool prizes away, and it's to push awareness of these really cool bike weeks, right? And it's to help just bring in that community. So we've got all these keywords. They're giving away prizes every week. I do drawings weekly on these as well, and that's cool. But my favorite effort that comes from that right now is the Let's Ride Challenge.
Yes.
I get emotional about it because Harley has partnered to help raise money for veteran motor groups and clubs and organizations like CVMA and things like that. So you don't have to be a HOG member, but anybody that rides a motorcycle, you can go to any dealership, register. It's a QR code. You scan it, you put your VIN number in, and every dealership, every front-facing person has a validator code, and you raise mileage, and they are raising money with that mileage.
Oh, wow.
So the
that's
goal
excellent.
is to raise 50 million miles through end of October all over the world.
Wow.
Oh,
And
how
that's
exciting.
Yeah, and you get you get milestones with it too, and that's what's awesome is you're doing that. If you are a HOG member, you have the Ride 365, that partner, so you don't have to do both, but you get extra cool stuff too.
On that quick note, we need to take another break, and we'll be right
Yeah.
back in just a moment.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid
knows it's dangerous. 5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Men in Nebraska can be set in their ways, but they can also be quick to change their minds. Just 10 minutes can be enough to step back and rethink the life-ending decision of suicide. If you have a friend or family member who's struggling with depression, talk to them about temporarily storing their guns away from their home. Paid for by the University of Nebraska Public Policy Center. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
A smoke-free environment is the only way to fully protect from the dangers of secondhand smoke. That's why smoke-free policies are so important to me. Whether it's in my car, apartment building, or when I'm dining outdoors, there's no place for secondhand smoke or e-cigarette aerosol. Breathe easier knowing the facts. Visit smokefree.ne.gov. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Country music star Rodney Atkins will be performing at the Icebox on Friday, June 20th. Tickets start at $30 and doors open at 7 p.m. The capacity is only 3,000, so don't wait. Buy your tickets at lincolnstars.com today before it sells out.
Life changes, and sometimes that means changing where you call home. Whether you're downsizing, growing your family, relocating, or facing tough times, you shouldn't navigate it alone. I'm Laura Bonta-Bush with Woods Rose Realty, and I'm here to guide you with all your real estate needs. As wife of football coach Bill Bush, I understand the importance of teamwork and making sure you are supported every step of the way with honesty, integrity, and compassion. If you're looking for a game plan to buy or sell your home, text the word HOME to 402-534-1919. That's HOME to 402-534-1919.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between, we'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Noticing more dust at home? It may be time for duct cleaning from Bryant. Breathe easy and healthy. Call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
You grew up on cereal for breakfast and you graduated into drinking coffee at some point as an adult. Now there's a place in Lincoln where you can stay caffeinated but eat like you used to. Control Coffee and Cereal Bar brings Saturday morning vibes to every day with locally roasted specialty coffees, Lotus energy drinks, and tons of breakfast cereals with toppings. And did we mention they have video games to play while you're there too? Control Coffee and Cereal Bar open 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the weekends at 15th and Pine Lake.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe. Back to What's Next 24 from the 93.7 The Ticket studio. With the authors of Next 24, Michael Worrell and Sherry Tills.
All right, welcome back in. A final segment. What's Next 24? We got Lexi and Casey from Frontier Harley-Davidson. The host is always Mike and Sherry. And if you guys want to get any last-second comments, feel free to hit up that Starter Heyman text line. With that being said, throw it over to the host, Mike and Sherry.
Well, welcome back, everybody. I just want to say real quick, because we're short on time. Sherry, we got to get people to get out there today, visit Frontier, because you may not know, in the past, they were always closed on Sunday. But today, and moving forward, they are open. What are your hours today?
Today, we are open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
And I'd certainly encourage anyone today, if you're out just driving around, want to stop in, check this place out. What's the great special today? What's going on today?
So right now, I'm trying to have an inventory blowout sale. I do have women's cut Frontier tees, buy one, get one. And then I do have
buy one, get one free.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Buy one, get one free. Sorry.
Oh, there we go.
I can't believe I missed the free
There
part.
we go. Get out there today.
Heavens to Betsy. I was going to say, I also have select riding gear, leathers, other men's cut, and then long sleeve t-shirts up to 60% off. So definitely come out and check it out. So.
Oh, that's great. I always like a good sale out there. That's always awesome.
Right.
That's where we got the hat. Sherry's got this great jacket.
Sherry is
Girls
all
are great to help
decked
us out. Check out the back of the bag. Yep. Harrison, we got to get you out there. We'll get you on all sorts of Harley gear.
We got to get Harrison in a do-rag.
Yeah, we still get another paycheck. So
It's a lot of fun.
Hey, you can get a Harley-Davidson credit card to cover that.
I was going to say,
There
we
we
can
go.
always charge it to Mike and Sherry's account.
There you go.
They
Oh,
always
why
make it
not?
work.
Why not? Guys, real quick, tell us, Frontier Harley, what's the goals for the near future? What's going on? What's going to change?
Yeah. So what's really cool about this is we are trying, like I said, we're trying to bring community back into this dealership, right?
Mhm.
It's gone through some changes, and our new owner, Stephen Towers, is amazing. He's a motorcycle enthusiast, and that's where he started with his love for Harleys and started getting into the industry and owning a couple of dealerships, and his vision for where we're going in the future is phenomenal. There's a lot of great changes coming, some I can't talk about.
Oh, I know.
But
But
I will tell you this, if it has been since last summer that you've been in the dealership, or even if it's been 6 months or a month, every day that you come into this dealership is going to be better than the day before. I always say that to get to blacktop, you start on gravel road, right? So it's one of those things, like we build. Sometimes it's clunky. Sometimes we try things and it doesn't work. Sometimes we try things and like hit the nail on the head, right? So that's the beauty of this. He's got a great vision for this dealership. We've got great people in place that are help building it to where we want it to be on all aspects, ethically and just like the morals of it. It's going to be fantastic.
And Harrison was hitting it earlier. For the young people, they don't like the big bike. What's the bike for the younger crowd tend to like? It's the
A lot of, I guess, the metric riders, younger groups, they definitely lean towards that Sportster S. It does have that more aggressive riding style and positioning.
Get down and take a look at that. And for us seniors, I don't like to call it seniors, but for us seniors, you do know that you still have the trikes.
Oh,
the
yeah.
three-wheeler trikes.
We actually have done so much with trikes because there's been so much transition. We brought back the freewheeler. Some of us call it a flirt. And they were like, man, I wish we had like the module but we don't want the trunk. So like now we have the Road Glide 3. So
are they still? Years ago they were talking about an electric bike. Is that still in the works, or is that kind of
that
gone
is
away?
the live wire?
yeah, that's the live wire, and it is its own entity. So it started with Harley to like push it out there, and it is still a Harley product, but it's on its own line. But we do have electric.
So they do have that as well. If you're looking at that, we've only got about a minute or so. You guys, we always give you the guests. Either one of you, I hope, can say this. It's open mic. You get to say anything you'd like to the community.
Oh.
What would you like to say?
Well, thank you for allowing us to be here and listening and inviting us into your home. And we want you to be able to come to our home. So, yeah, just come check out, hang out with us.
Lexi, you could go ahead.
Definitely come check out the dealership. If you ever have questions about starting to ride, depending on where you're at in your riding journey, just come out, let us know. And, we're happy to have you. So hopefully we'll see your smiling faces soon.
Excellent. Exactly. And by the way, will you be out there today? Are you either one of you out today or day off today?
Day off.
Day
off. Enjoy your day off. Who should they go out and see today?
They should go out and see little Audrey that will be working.
And Donovan over in sales. He'll take good care of you.
Very good. Get out there today. Check it out. Walk around. Have a fun day. That's it for today. We'll see you next week. Thank you very much.
Guys.